I'ma run the bag. Me and my hitters play tag. If a bitch gets talking shit, me and my bitches gon' drag. What is a fair one? I pull it out and I air one. She wants more, she real dumb.
Welcome back to my page, and if you're new here, welcome. We are going to talk about crazy things happening around the world. Oh wait, hold on, let me do that again. Oh wait, hold on. Around the world. When I tell you the stuff I have found on this app, absolutely crazy. On top of that, you know they're finally banning red dye 40 in America and our foods. Yeah, I found that out on TikTok. Yeah. So let's just go ahead and get into these TikTok compilations and yeah.
Why are we still giving kids free lunches? They should be outside picking cherries and working. When I was 9 years old, I was on my daddy's farm. I don't care if they're 10 years old. They know how to crank 90s on Fortnite, but they don't know how to fix a meal. They don't know how to work. Their hands are soft. Why are we babying these children? Do my kids work? Heavens, no. No, God, what do you mean? I love my kids. The fuck? We need to teach these kids how to make us more money. How to be independent and fend for themselves. Why are they even still going to class? How old is your kid? He's 12? Is he paying rent yet? Do we have a car? Is he contributing at all to your household? Then kick his ass out. What are you doing? You're missing out on money. They need to be in the sweatshop. I don't care if it's required by law that they go to school every day. They should have to pay for food. Food is not free. That is a luxury. That is not a requirement. I used to fix steak, lobster, potatoes because I worked my ass off at 6 years old to be able to afford that for me and my family. I didn't get to play. So kids shouldn't be allowed to play.
America, did you hear what happened? Did you hear how many Social Security recipients there were that was just discovered? You tell me how there are more Social Security recipients than there are humans in America. Did you hear me? Elon and the Department of Doge have gone into these records and found that there are more Social Security recipients than there are people in America. So what does that mean? That's fraud. They just uncovered a huge pile of fraud. Now, these fraudulent activities, who did it? Who oversees it? And who allowed this to happen to our tax dollars? How old is the system for president after president after president to not know that there are more Social Security recipients than there are humans in America? Something smells fishy. I'm out.
I'm Hispanic and I vote for Mr. Trump. We vote for Mr. Trump. Yes, Mr. Trump. We love you.
A few moments later.
Beyond betrayed. They used us. They actually, during the campaign, and I don't want to make this political, but during the campaign, the elected officials from the Republican Party, they actually told us that it was not going to touch the documented people.
Now what's going on? Come on, talk to me. There's no need to have an attitude with me. Just tell me what's going on.
I ain't going to school because I got my phone. And she taking her time getting my phone, so she's
Do you have a job?
Nope.
Do you pay any bills in here?
Nope.
So what do you think you got? What makes you believe you have a privilege?
I don't got no privilege.
Okay, so why are you cutting up with your mama? Your mama, when you ready to go to work?
I'm late.
Okay, she's showing out because you purchased her phone, and you're doing the best you can do to try to replace her phone, right? Now I'm gonna tell you, if you was mine, you wouldn't get another phone. That's a privilege, okay? Go get dressed for school. Nobody gotta do you no favors. When you get a job, you buy 12 phones. That's what you do. You got 5 minutes to close that door and get dressed. 5 minutes.
Yeah, Chloe's a little bit mad right now because we left them out and she started to eat them. So I had to take them from her. So she didn't eat all of them. She ate a few of them. You did. She doesn't like it when I tell her business.
What?
I know, I'm pretty upset about it too.
White women ain't scared of shit. I keep telling y'all. That cat don't popped her in the head 5 times and she's sitting there like she's doing a damn Colgate commercial. Chloe doesn't like when I tell her business. I don't know what's going on with her today, but she's kind of grumpy. But to be honest with you, she's such a sweet girl, and she loves cuddles and bedtime stories. Shit, I wouldn't even close my eyes around that damn cat. I'd have sent her back a long time ago. I'm telling y'all, man, there isn't an animal on the face of this earth that a white woman won't pet.
Why the fuck would a random ex-Navy SEAL not trust his own government? Just watch this shit.
I don't think there's very many people left
that have any confidence in the U.S. government at this point. My personal opinion is they already know it's over and they're ripping the wiring out of the walls and trying to get every last dollar into their pockets before this thing goes up.
In the same way that this UFC commentator tried to warn us about the fires months ago, he has been trying to warn us about the government's next natural disaster.
And what does it look like
if our power grid goes down?
If we truly have an outage that is nationwide, the EMP Commission, which is a commission that was mandated by U.S. Congress, they found that as many as 90% of Americans would die.
300 million people wiped off the map just like that. And how long did you say that would take?
9 months.
And when this happens, information is going to be the most powerful resource because nobody's going to know what to do. Which is why everybody in my family has one of these. How to build your own water filter. How to make your own solar power system. How to build a water heater because it's the winter time. How to protect your house against intruders. Preserving fuel. A survival garden. All types of shit. This is something that I think every single family should at least have one copy of, but it's already sold out once this month. So if you see the orange shopper car somewhere down here, they might still be in stock.
Donald Trump is now being targeted by the cyber attackers Anonymous. They've declared, quote, total war on the billionaire and now claim to have hacked him and released some of his private information.
Thank you. Now is the time to unite to fight fascism, to show that we are very serious about stopping any proposed fourth right by the fascist Donald Trump. We have attached a gift, of sorts, Trump's social security number, cell phone number and other details that might be able to assist you all in independently investigating this would-be dictator.
For more on this, we bring in ABC News senior justice correspondent Pierre Thomas. He's in Washington this morning. Good morning, Pierre.
Good morning, Robin. Donald Trump appears to have a new adversary, not political, but a potentially formidable one, Anonymous, known for its aggressive hacking. In that video, Anonymous claims it has secured some of Donald Trump's personal and private information and is blasting it over the internet, something it hopes will make Mr. Trump's life miserable. Overnight, the Trump campaign released a statement acknowledging the attempt, saying authorities are seeking the arrest of the people responsible for attempting to illegally hack Mr. Trump's accounts and telephone information. So this is being treated seriously, Robin.
And Pierre, what are we hearing from the government, the response from the government? What can they do?
We've confirmed that federal agents are pursuing this hacking, but investigations like this are notoriously complicated and they typically take a long time to resolve. And Anonymous, by all accounts, is pretty good at covering his trail. But Mr. Trump, given his wealth, has a strong cybersecurity dome to protect himself and limit the damage. So we expect this to be an ongoing battle.
Are you guys watching this? We have a private takeover of the federal government that is being labeled reform. It is clearly in violation of a number of federal laws, at the very least of which is records retention, that a lot of websites that are being unilaterally taken down, public data sets at the CDC that were unavailable for, like a CDC employee had to go out of bounds and upload those to a drive online just so there would be access to them. We have people who haven't gone through security clearances who are using Gmail addresses to join top-level OPM meetings. This is an effing circus. And I guess, sorry, that's all the time that the guest has. That's all the time we have this morning for Trump Morning News. As always, we remind you, your state legislators, you can't do anything directly about this, and there's nothing the Republican Party could have done in the last 20 years. Oh, and by the way, Musk did a Hitler salute on stage. Mr. President, I yield the well.
Why is nobody talking about the fact that they literally confiscated a human egg farm yesterday? With all of the Super Bowl and all that kind of stuff being talked about, no one is talking about the fact that they literally rescued 100 women that were forced to donate eggs. This happened in, I want to say, Georgia. It was a program that was happening that they listed on Facebook Marketplace advertising surrogate services. So basically you become a surrogate and you get paid a pretty decent amount of money for it, right? Now, these women went to this facility that happened to be an egg farming facility, and they were completely blindsided. They began to, house these women in very unsafe environments and force them to do egg retrieval services for very, very cheap to no price, pay. And they just rescued 100 women from Thailand that were being forced to donate eggs. This is literally The Handmaid's Tale in real life.
Crazy things happening in the world right now. A woman from Alabama is suing football coach Lane Kiffin, Donald Trump and his son, along with JD Vance for $1 million gazillion because she's claiming that they stole money from her bank account. The Canadian Army has come out and said that the newest military sleeping bags in design today are not suitable for Canadian winters. This man from Massachusetts bought this house for $395,000 despite warnings that it will fall into the ocean. A new startup wants to sell you sunlight after dark using space mirrors. Schools are putting vape detectors in bathrooms that were paid for by the vape company Juul. This woman was arrested at an Applebee's after arguing with the manager that if she paid $15.99 for all you can eat, that would include her entire table instead of just her. Scientists are saying to never take health advice from the world's oldest people. Workers in Japan are hiring resignation experts to help them quit their jobs. A Florida surgeon is being sued after a patient passed away when he took away his liver instead of his spleen.
That kid. Oh. Hey! What are you doing?
You want to just throw any or something? Okay, I guess so. All right, okay, mini-me here.
It certainly is.
Mini-me, you complete me.
I started this.
But you're getting, you have the general vibe.
Yeah,
before in space acts and quietly just do whatever we want.
Did he just say the quiet part out loud?
Good afternoon. Every single day, the rest of the world gets up and continues to constantly speak on how New York is not a real fucking place. And this is why. Group steals NYC subway train, goes on joyride, and posted on Instagram. Now, for me personally, it's the posting on Instagram. Like, that's what it is for me. And this is what I hate the most about social media and technology today and age. Because back in the day, you didn't record a fucking crime. Matter of fact, you couldn't. Because we didn't have the technology yet. But fuck that though. That's not even what we're here to discuss. That's not the topic at hand. Why the fuck is this so easy to do? Every time I turn around, a teenager, a fucking hooligan, is taking the train for a joyride. Like, this is genuinely something I'm not understanding. I'm not wrapping my head around this. Like, first and foremost, where the fuck is the security? Immediately after, these kids are just fucking certified train conductors now? Like, do you not need any credentials? Like, anyone who could count to fucking 10 could take a train over? Like, what's happening? Like, mind you, we're talking about $1 billion fucking company. Where is the money going? When are we gonna put MTA under investigation? I'm not getting it. Like, the same company beasted for approximately $2.90. But Corey from 11th grade is taking me to Flatbush?
I'll just pop it on here first because if I don't, this insufferable human being is going to chase you off, even if I tell you a stitch is coming. So just try and hang in there. I'll be right back.
What about the groceries? Have they come down yet?
I don't give a fuck about grocery prices. We are exposing the corruption in this country in real time, and we're reducing government spending at the same time. Billions of dollars we are saving after we cut off funding dumb shit.
Ooh, she doesn't give a fuck about groceries. You know what she does give a fuck about? Me making a video because she blocked me. Didn't work, though. But no one's surprised that you don't give a fuck about groceries. Normal, average Americans care about those things, but the MAGA chodes like this, all they care about is treating politics like sports and being like, yay, our team won, which is like a weird move. But let's pretend she did this in good faith. Weeding out corruption and stopping the spending of money on dumb shit, I believe is how she put it. Dumb shit, like the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. It's one of the ones being torn apart. And what do they even do? The CFPB implements and enforces a range of consumer finance laws, such as the Fair Credit Reporting Act, which, among other things, helps ensure the accuracy and privacy of people's credit reports. The agency also issues and enforces financial regulations. Those sound like good things, but maybe it's an inefficient waste of money. It's funded by the Federal Reserve. But what is the return we're getting on that investment? Their operational budget proposed for 2025 is somewhere between $810 and $823 million. And that's a lot of money in real people money. Not so much in government budget money, but in real people money, that's a lot. So what are they doing for us at $823 million a year? The CFPB was formed in 2011. In 2023, they put this report out. $17.5 billion is the amount of money the CFPB has put back in American pockets in the form of monetary compensation, returned to American consumers. In fact, the more recent numbers I saw was $21 billion. In 2023, they had imposed more than $4 billion in civil money penalties on companies and individuals that violate the law. And those numbers can't even take into consideration how much money American consumers didn't lose in the first place because of laws and regulations that they enforce. Companies afraid to take advantage of people for fear of retribution. And now, thanks to Trump, things like the CFPB's plan to save consumers $15 billion a year in overdraft fees is on hold. That's just per year, $15 billion that American consumers would not be paying out in predatory overdraft fees. That could go away because they're gutting the CFPB. But I feel someone like this would be like, hey, forget about that. Well, you're not even mentioning stuff like USAID. USAID's like a huge waste of money. Okay, let's talk about USAID. That makes up less than 1% of our national budget. That was a big waste of money, right? That's something we should do away with. It's going to suddenly somehow infuse a bunch of money back into America, right? That's Elon's motivation for going after USAID, right?
Mr. Talcove, do you know how many inspector generals at agencies that were investigating Elon Musk's companies have been fired by the Trump-Musk administration?
No.
It is 5. Ms. Royal, the inspector general at the Department of Labor had 17 open investigations into Tesla and SpaceX. Do you know what the Trump-Musk administration did to that inspector general?
No.
They fired him. And I think y'all know. Mr. Whitson, the Inspector General of the Department of Transportation was investigating Tesla. Do you know what the Trump-Musk administration did to that Inspector General?
No.
They were fired. The Department of Defense's Inspector General was looking into SpaceX. Mr. Hedler, do you know what the Trump-Musk administration did to that Inspector General?
I believe he was fired.
Thank you. I think everybody on the panel knows what the answer to these questions were. The U.S. Department of Agriculture Inspector General was investigating Musk's Neuralink. Mr. Talcove, now I'll ask you again under oath, do you know what Mr. Trump did to that Inspector General that was looking into one of Musk's companies?
No.
He was fired. The Inspector General at the EPA was repeatedly taking on Tesla. Mr. Hedler, since it seems that you're answering the questions that everyone knows the answer to, do you know what the Trump-Musk administration did to that Inspector General?
I believe he was also fired.
Also fired.
Hey, remember when she was talking about weeding out corruption? It's funny to me that Elon Musk, first and foremost, went after all of these agencies that just coincidentally happened to be investigating him and possibly coming after him with fines and sanctions and who knows what else. And you can't even really argue that inefficiency is the focus, because one of the most inefficient corners of our government is the Pentagon. They've failed like their last 7 audits, yet somehow Doge seems to have no interest in the Pentagon. And listen, getting rid of something like USAID serves a dual purpose for him, because he's made it very clear that he genuinely looks at people in need as the parasite class. And it doesn't stop with USAID. There's going to be food stamps, Section 8, Medicare, and Medicaid. He is the living embodiment of the old story of a banker, a blue-collar middle-class worker, and an immigrant are all sitting at a table, and there's 21 cookies on the table. And the banker reaches over and scoops up 20 of the cookies and then taps the middle-class worker on the arm and says, "Hey, man, you better be careful. That immigrant's going to steal your cookie." Elon Musk just wants all the cookies.
You voted for a candidate endorsed by the KKK. For the rest of your life, you have to know that you voted the same way as the KKK. No ifs, ands, or buts. No doubt about it. Which I told him she was chiming in and agreeing because there's no way around it. You voted for hatred. You voted against women, against the gay community, against Mexicans, against blacks. And you're going to call yourself a Christian? I don't give a fuck if you go to church 23 out of 24 hours. You're a mean motherfucker. And
okay, so we're gonna end that right there. Yeah, but if you guys like this TikTok compilation, make sure you hit that like button, also subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.